Hey everyone, it's Doshi, Product Manager at Bolin Technology here, and we're at NAB 2025 taking a look at what Bolin has to offer for our guests this time around. If you weren't able to see it for yourself, don't worry, we're going to show you everything that you missed. So we're going to start here on the indoor side of our booth. We've got a variety of indoor cameras, just depending on the application you're going into. Starting with our R9 series, we've got three great models to talk about: the R9 230 H and NX, the R9 418 F and N models, and the R9 420 F and N models as well. So Bolin offers the same great camera both as a base model as well as an NDI high bandwidth and HX3 model, depending on the workflow you want to go into. So you don't have to choose between sacrificing optics or choosing the features you want. You can just select exactly what's the right fit for your applications. So here we have the R9 418N. This camera supports not just NDI high bandwidth and HX3, but it's on the latest NDI 6 standards, and therefore it supports NDI embedded bridge as well. Now that's one of the only cameras on the market that supports NDI embedded bridge, which means you no longer need to have a computer wherever you want to join an NDI bridge network. The camera itself can join an NDI bridge network just by logging into the web interface and entering your server details. We've got a great video on that on our YouTube channel that we recommend you check out. Moving on from our R9 over here, we've got a little station right here. We've got our new KBD 1020N controller over here that supports NDI, VSCA over IP, VSCA over serial RS-232 and 422, as well as on-VIF control. So no matter the protocol you're using, you can use a combination of every single one of those. And it's not just proprietary to Bolin. Any PTZ camera that supports any of those protocols can be controlled using this controller. A couple of things with the new KBD 1020N to point out. You'll see a button over here that says roll zoom. I'm going to point that out later, but the roll function is an interesting function I'll point out in a bit. You can also log into the web interface to go ahead and configure everything and export those settings out. So no longer do you need to press all of the tiny buttons to configure everything. You can do it much quicker on the web interface. Got a computer right here where we can allow our visitors to switch between the different camera feeds we have. One of the many capabilities of our EG40N controller that we have up here on the wall. The EG40N is our NDI high bandwidth and HX3 decoder, but it does far more than just be an NDI and HX3 decoder. It's a full IP decoder, meaning you can decode RT-SP, RT-MP, SRT, and MPEG-TS, all from the decoder. It also has a built-in scaler, so you have 12G SDI and HDMI 2.0 outputs that are simultaneous and independent with one another, meaning that you can have one resolution out of the SDI port and a different resolution out of the HDMI port. Even greater than that though, is you can scale the resolutions that are coming in. So you can have, for example, a 4K IP stream coming in and have that scaled down to 1080p on your HDMI out for a preview, and then have 12G SDI going out to a recorder, for example. So a lot of power built into a very small, compact form factor. Our EG40N over here, you can actually rack mount up to 3 of them in a single 1U, packing a lot of density into a compact form factor, powered over PoE+, as you can see. Moving on to our smaller, more compact indoor PTZ cameras, we have our 2, 6, and 7 series right here. We have this available both as a B7 220 as well as an N7 220. Now they're the same camera, but just like our R9 series, the N7 features NDI HX3. The B7 has all the standard IP streams along with HDMI and SDI out, but no NDI stream that's part of it. It's full HD with a 20x zoom. You can do, like I said, SDI out of it, HDMI out of it, all the IP streams, NDI HX3. Also has a USB-C output port, so you can use it as a webcam and easily bring it into applications like vMix, as well as all the IP streams that I mentioned earlier. It's got a built-in color matrix and line-in audio as well. This one is great for a lot of Pro AV applications where you want a simple little camera that you can use for a lot of houses of worship and education settings. Moving on to our N6 420X, we also have a B6 420X, again, without NDI HX3. It supports 4K 60 frames per second, and that is across the HDMI, the NDI, and the IP streams. So it does NDI HX3. As the name would suggest, 420 means it has a 20x zoom, supports NDI HX3, HDMI, USB-C, as well as an IP stream. Has color matrix built in, as well as line-in audio. Now, lastly over here, we have the D2 210H standing in for our 2 series of cameras. We have these available as B2s, D2s, and N2s. Now you're wondering what the D is for. That is Dante AV-H. Bolin supports Dante AV-H in our 2 series form factors, which is great for existing Dante audio environments. If you're a house of worship or education facility, these slot in perfectly into those environments. Available in black or white. We have both a 210 and 220 model, so either a 10x or 20x zoom in full HD, with HDMI, USB-C, and IP outputs, in addition to 3G SDI on the 220 models. It's also got a color matrix as well as line-in audio. I highly recommend them for house of worship who are just getting into streaming and want an affordable, high-quality PTZ camera. We have another little control station right here where you can go ahead and configure what's up on the screens over here. And moving over to the Dante AV side of our booth. As you may be familiar, Bolin supports not just NDI, but also Dante AV, and at that, Dante AV Ultra and H as well. So Dante AV-H, like I mentioned earlier, is meant for education, for houses of worship, places where you want a low bandwidth way to operate within the Dante ecosystem along with the Dante audio sources that you may already be using. We also support Dante AV Ultra, and the great thing about Dante AV Ultra is it's using the same clocking mechanisms that Dante Audio is using. So great for a lot of convention facilities, great for live entertainment venues, recording studios, but Dante AV Ultra features the JPEG 2000 codec, which is visually lossless, maintains high fidelity video, and perfectly synced with your Dante audio environment. So you can ensure that there is perfect alignment. Again, really great for those live performance venues where synchronization is really critical. We make not just our Dante AV Ultra cameras, but also Dante AV Ultra encoders and decoders. Now these encoders and decoders are a single unit. The user, you can change the firmware just simply by downloading it from a website. So you can use it either in encode or decode mode. You don't have to choose. So it's great, again, for rental houses as well, where you want that flexibility. Supports HDMI 2.0 in and can output up to 12G SDI as well as HDMI 2.0. You can subscribe Dante sources directly to the decoder, and you can mount up to 2 of these in a single rack unit. Next to it, we also have our EG40DH decoder. This features all the same benefits of our EG40N, except it supports Dante AV-H in decode. So you can do both HDMI and 12G SDI with those scalers built in. You can also do RT-SP, RT-MP, SRT, and MPEG-TS, all being decoded by this simple little box, and it shows up perfectly in your Dante controller environment. Now we move on to one of the flagship portions of Bolin's booth at NAB 2025, our virtual production set. Now, as you may know, Bolin's R9 series of indoor PTZ cameras, as well as our entire range of outdoor PTZ cameras, support the 3D protocol or tracking data output. Now that data can be used for a number of applications, and we have partners across the show showcasing some of these applications, as you can see in some other videos. But on our booth, we're using the 3D data to come into Aximmetry's virtual production software that's running right here on the side. And it is taking the video from our virtual production set where you see Simon. It's going into our computer, and it's gen locked to make sure that it's maintaining that synchronization. Coming into our computer, into their software, we're keying out the background and adding this virtual set that you see behind him. And as you can see, we're gonna move this around, and the set remains perfectly in place. Now this works with a number of different environments. Here we have a simple little virtual studio. I can go ahead and move it to this different environment. Again, we're really grateful for Aximmetry for helping us achieve this at our booth and demonstrating this, and they have some exciting demos on their booth as well. But as you can see, I'm gonna move this around using our KBD 1020N here, and it maintains a great key. We have our friendly little robot over here who's moving along with Simon. And again, this is just a simple little demonstration but showcases the powerful features that Bolin's cameras with 3D can give you. We've got a great lighting setup. We're thankful for the guys over at ProPsych who were able to give us the green screen for the show. We have a Pro Deck right here by Densitron, which we have BitFocus Companion running on with its little screen as well. A lot of great partners that make a lot of what we do possible that we want to thank. So that's our little virtual production set. The last part of Bolin's booth to talk about is our entire outdoor line of products. Bolin has been known for our outdoor line of Pro AV and broadcast PTZ cameras, which can be found in a number of applications already, and the features just keep on getting better on these cameras. There's a special feature we want to show off that we're showing off at NAB 2025. Most PTZ cameras on the market are pan, tilt, and zoom, and all of that is obviously great. Bolin's made our entire company around PTZ cameras, but we thought let's take it up one notch and add a new level of control, and we're calling that the roll axis. So the roll axis is available in our SD530 and our EX1030 cameras, our standard dome and pillar style cameras. And sometimes when you're using an outdoor cameras and it's mounted, it might not get mounted level, or sometimes there's something in a unique angle that you want to capture. So what we can go ahead and do is rotate the image up to 15 degrees left or right to correct for any mismatched alignment when it came to mounting, or just capturing a unique angle. So we have our SD530 up here, and remember that roll zoom button? That's how that works. I'm just going to go ahead and toggle the roll axis over here and use our knob to go ahead and rotate the image. The SD530 has been updated from our Gen 2 to our now Gen 3 version that features this roll axis. We've also went ahead and upgraded the image block, which features our super image stabilization. And we've also made it a much easier process to mount with the quick release mechanism, making it truly a camera that is fit for a modern production. We also have our EX1030 camera over here. Now we have both of these models available both as an H and NX model, meaning it can either support base IP or NDI HX3 as well. Now all of these cameras also support NDI embedded bridge, which we talked about earlier with the R9 model. So we have the EX1030 over here, our pillar style camera. Again, upgraded image block with super image stabilizer. We've removed the tail cable that, we've listened to a lot of our customers report that was giving them some challenges. So we made it a much cleaner interface, nitrogen filled, so it prevents any condensation from building up on the lenses. We've added a wiper now, so it's easier to clean off the glass on it, and a sunshade as well to prevent any sun from directly hitting the lens. Now, both of these cameras have a continuous 360-degree pan and varying tilt limits, full HD with a 30x zoom, and a full Sony image block. So a really powerful solution. Moving on to one of the last sections of our outdoor demo. This isn't necessarily a new demo for NAB, but it still gets people every time, and it's our super image stabilizer. Now again, this is a full HD camera in our both R9 230 and EXU 230 cameras. Full HD with a 30x zoom, Sony image block. The EX Ultras, just like our SD and EXs, are fully IP67 rated. They perform excellent in the low light because of their Starvis sensor. And that super image stabilizer just looks fantastic. And if we crank this up even more, it just gets better. I'm gonna say if your camera's shaking like this, you got some bigger problems to worry about, but the camera won't have any problems. You can see this thing is rapidly shaking, but that image stabilizer in the camera is turning this into a much more usable image. And the last thing we got to show on our booth over here is our EXU 248N PTZ camera, high bandwidth, and HX3, has an integrated tally light. And you'll see a little microphone attached to the bottom down here. And that is because you can do balanced XLR audio, including phantom power feeding directly into the camera, allowing you to capture some ambient noise and bring that into your production. Now the EX Ultra has a variety of inputs to support it. You got up to dual 3G, 6G, or 12G SDI, depending on the model you choose. Gen lock in, optical SDI, HDMI 2.0, which is independent from the SDI, so you can have that set to a different resolution, and then a network port, which can be used not just for PoE++ power, but also pass video over IP, as well as pass control data for VSCA over IP as well. That balanced audio port I talked about, you can either power PoE++ or DC power in, and if you get in close over here, you'll see a port for 12-volt power out. That means you can use this camera to power an external device, such as a converter, bonded cellular box, or any other type of wireless transmitting device. Really flexible and makes it much easier to use with our variety of mounting options as well. And that brings us to the front of the booth where we started. Thank you for taking a look at Bolin Technology's booth at NAB 2025. To learn more, please visit bolintechnology.com, and we'll catch you in the next one. Thank you.